Where does InvestorFuse play a part in your business? Welcome and thank you for checking out InvestorFuse. I would love to hear where you heard of InvestorFuse originally and appreciate that you're checking out our company. What does InvestorFuse do exactly? As we're going to cover a few things here in this question of where does InvestorFuse play a part in your business. The three buckets of real estate investing in our terminology and context of the InvestorFuse product. What life would look like without a CRM, post-it notes, spreadsheets, having to remember everything, every touch, every communication you've had in the day with all your leads, etc. And when is InvestorFuse a good fit for me? So what is it exactly InvestorFuse does? You probably have a general idea that it's a CRM, a seller lead CRM. You may know that it's best fit for investors that are doing direct to seller marketing. And behind on this slide here is a screenshot of IF3 beta, which I definitely suggest checking out the full demo if after this presentation here it looks like it's a good fit for you. So what exactly does InvestorFuse do as a seller lead CRM, a lead conversion system? So first, it's a seller lead capture hub. It pretty much captures leads from all your different marketing and lead generation tools to be in one consolidated place. Also, it's going to be an action and task manager for your business. InvestorFuse helps manage your actions and tasks as an entire company and individually with each team member. Nice and simple and easy to use. Both manual next actions and tasks, as well as automated touches and actions, which we'll touch on further here. InvestorFuse also helps you manage and nurture your seller leads. You can categorize these leads by a number of different variables to get the best understanding and organization of your entire database, and that's going to help you prioritize which actions you and your team end up taking on a day-to-day and action-by-action basis. Some of these variables that you can filter your seller lead opportunities by are the marketing campaign they came in from, the lead generation tool they came from, who's taking ownership of that seller lead opportunity in your company, who's the acquisition manager or lead manager responsible, custom labels, so you can essentially create any type of custom label you want, maybe like a different exit strategy, like a lease option deal or a particular part of town, and then date ranges, etc. Follow-up sequences. So follow-up sequences, more commonly referred to as drip campaigns across different sales industries, are an automated schedule of touches for different seller lead scenarios that you would come across the most often. Those follow-up sequences can be text, email, ringless voicemail that go outbound to the seller, and also custom internal actions that can go to a team member, like a manual follow-up call, for example. An example of a follow-up sequence, a custom one that I made in a demo space, would be a post-appointment offer rejected for a warm lead. As an example, you go out to see a property or you do a phone appointment and you present the seller an offer, it gets rejected. You want to put them on a touch of text, email, and ringless voicemail, just following up with them saying, hey, thanks for having me at the property. I know we couldn't agree to terms, but I'm still here to add value and help you with your real estate needs. And you can kind of echo that message for 1-2 years if you'd like, just to give you guys a little example of follow-up sequence. InvestorFuse is also going to put you in a better position to close more deals. Most sales across any type of industry, whether it's cars, whatever it may be, are going to take multiple touches. You're not going to get something under contract or agree to a sale or transfer on the first touch, most likely. So you're going to put yourself in a better position to be able to do this by managing your manual touches and helping you automate a lot of touches and save a lot of time. In my opinion, as a former full-time wholesaler transitioned to software entrepreneur with InvestorFuse, the two biggest leverage points are going to be around the lead capture, where we're able to connect with your marketing and lead gen tools, distribute those in pretty cool ways to different teammates, and auto responses so that you can send a custom text and email right when they come in, and also around the follow-up sequence functionality, which is something that I just touched on here on this slide, where you're able to put sellers on a predetermined schedule of touches to help automate a lot of your follow-up efforts and time. So those 2 points are the two biggest leverage points in my opinion. When you check out the full demo, I'll be able to go through and show you a visual of both of those pieces in depth. The 3 buckets of real estate investing. At InvestorFuse, we like to keep things as simple as possible. So this is going to be the most simple way that I could explain real estate investing in context of InvestorFuse and maybe some other tools that you're looking at as you're doing some research here to help scale and organize and maybe even start your business. So here are the 3 buckets of real estate investing. Again, guys, as simple as possible. The first bucket is going to be marketing and lead generation. The second bucket is going to be seller lead management and acquisitions. Third bucket, you have the property under contract. Now it's up to you to decide how you're going to exit from that property or potentially even hang on to it if you wanted to hold it as a rental in the dispositions and transaction coordination bucket. So where does InvestorFuse fit into these? You may have guessed it, in that middle bucket there. We go all in on seller lead management and acquisitions. For us, that starts when a lead is captured from your marketing and lead generation efforts. So I want it to be as helpful as possible for you guys. If you're looking at InvestorFuse, you're probably looking at a lot of other tools and services like you see on the marketing and lead generation bucket here. Investor Carrot, CallRail, Vumber, Smarter Contact, Lead Sherpa, REI Rail, Call Tools, Mojo Dialer, Deal Machine, Vumber, Batch Leads, REI Sift. Here's a list of some of the most common tools that are used by our members. A lot of these tools have been in the business for a while, that we know the company, we know the people behind them, and they're all highly recommended companies and even more so great people. So InvestorFuse is able to connect with these tools. So for example, if you have a Carrot website, a seller fills out their information on your Carrot website, our integration team sets it up so that lead comes automatically into InvestorFuse. You can have an automatic text that goes out to them that says, hey, first name, thanks for coming on our website and filling out your info. Our acquisitions team will be with you shortly, whatever you want that message to say. Similarly with like a dialer or a text tool like Smarter Contact or Mojo, those are more so you're sifting through a large list of data, essentially trying to figure out if there's any opportunities to monetize the data that you have. And pretty much once you determine that through texting or calling that you're able to potentially help someone out and monetize that opportunity, we set it up nice and simply, so you just press a button and then it comes over into this middle bucket of InvestorFuse automatically. So super cool, and it's going to help consolidate your marketing and lead generation efforts. A lot of you guys watching this video probably have at least 1 or 2 of these tools here on the left. What life would look like without a CRM? I kind of hit on the point a little bit here, and here's a graphic of Mr. Fuse being carried around or dragged around by his son. It looks like they're flipping through some manual files. What life would look like without a CRM? Legal pads and Google Docs. A good podcast I heard a few years ago was Alex Pardo talking about how it's very possible for you to run a real estate investing business just on legal pads or Google Docs without a real estate CRM. But there are definitely some negatives with that, and they directly correlate to the bigger your business gets or how many leads you have, the least effective it's going to be. So you can 100% run a successful business with these tools, but it's going to be all manual data entry. And the more leads you have coming in, as I said, directly correlates to how easily you can manage them. So not very organized, not good for working with teams. Lack of centralization, communication, and organization. Having to rely on checking multiple tools where all your opportunities may be, which brings me to the next point, managing leads from each marketing/lead generation tools. So for the example I said earlier, if you have like CallRail and you have Investor Carrot page, you're gonna have to go into each of those, run through, see what leads you have, update in those tools if possible, and it's just gonna be like a headache and not very organized. for managing all your leads, and it's just going to take up time and energy that could be very well spent in other areas. No automated follow-up. So every touch and update that you do is manual, as I said, going to increase the chance of things falling through the cracks, opportunities, communications, things you said you were going to do with the seller, higher chance that stuff falls through the cracks. And really what I see InvestorFuse and like a seller lead CRM as being is almost like taking out an insurance policy for your marketing. And without a CRM, it's like you kind of have no insurance. Kind of you're just hoping and that you're able to manage everything from those respective tools. You're kind of shooting from the hip, so to say, as far as having an organized way to process inbound leads, qualify, disqualify, choose what next action you need to take. When is InvestorFuse a good fit for me? When is InvestorFuse a good fit for me? Very common question I get asked. What I typically start with asking back is, have you closed a real estate transaction yet? I'd like to make sure that you're comfortable and confident negotiating real estate deals, both on the seller lead side and selling or assigning that property out to investor or end buyer, and that you have systems in place to generate opportunities. So you have some type of marketing or lead generation that's bringing you consistent opportunities to monetize these seller leads. And I could, from a sales perspective, I could always make a case for InvestorFuse. I'm more than confident in our service, our team, our product, but trying to be as helpful to you guys as possible, especially if you're evergreen, or in the context, I'm speaking to those that are evergreen, brand new. You could spend your mental energy and time trying to have as many quality conversations as possible with motivated seller leads and quality seller leads. The one exception I would make here, guys, probably is if you have a mentor or somebody that you're working hand in hand with, and they're going to be using either InvestorFuse, or they want to make sure that you have a top quality seller lead CRM. That would probably be the only exception if somebody's going to be mentoring you hand in hand or very closely. Besides that, I would say not yet for InvestorFuse, but we always have free content, so you can always stay in touch with us, and when you're ready to do that, we'd be more than happy to have you, and it'd really be an honor to have you on board. Probably like a 1B of that is the pricing, guys, is the investment. Adding a monthly recurring investment, which is exactly what InvestorFuse is an investment to your marketing and business operations. So at the time of this video, this system, it's a subscription software for $250 a month. That includes the tools, our support and integrations team to connect all your marketing and lead gen tools, our customer success team, which is going to help you learn the system and best practices on Zoom, screen share training calls. So you want to make sure the investment makes sense for you guys as lead insurance and really being the hub of your acquisitions and your business with all your seller leads. So it's kind of like a 1A, 1B there that have you close the real estate transaction yet, and the pricing, the $250 a month. Marketing and lead generation tools in place kind of hits again to the first point. We connect with that first bucket of real estate investing, guys, the lead generation and marketing, to capture leads from multiple areas. And I would say you get bonus points if you have more than one tool that you're using. So like the same example I used earlier, if you have Call, Rail, and Carrot, you're going to have added bonuses for each additional tool that you have, because you're able to consolidate and have one area that all these leads are coming in from your marketing. So to recap, guys, I really appreciate you guys checking out InvestorFuse and watching this video. Whether or not InvestorFuse is a great fit for you right now, and that's the only reason or the only way I'd want you to come on if it's an absolute great fit for you, feel free to reach out, InvestorFuse.com. We have chat right on the website that you can reach out to me directly. You can also email answers@InvestorFuse.com. If you want to check out small how-to videos, specific 2 to 5 minute videos on how to use the system, feel free to check out our internal customer knowledge base, help.investorfuse.com. And part of that free content that we do, episodes released on a weekly basis, you can check out the 80/20 Real Estate Show podcast. Right there, I put the Apple link on there, but we're on every single podcasting platform, and you can just YouTube InvestorFuse podcast if you want to see the video version of that. But very grateful and appreciative of you guys checking out InvestorFuse. Would love to chat with you. whether or not InvestorFuse is a fit for you right now or not, we're always looking to add as much value and help as possible to the community, whether you're using our tool or not. So hope you have a great day and hope to hear from you soon. Wishing you massive success.